Many times we've gone over the scenario of how it happened, and there's not a scenario that we can come up with where I survived. The tattoo that's on my arm, what's left of it, it was burnt off, but was a memorial to my father, the last airplane that he and I restored together. So I started flying at a very, very young age. So I've been around airplanes my entire life. My first ride was on his lap when I was 5 years old in a crop duster. So it's something I've always wanted to do, but then I joined the Army and you know, other priorities took over, raising daughters and being deployed, and the desire for flying never went away. It was always there. It's always something I wanted to do. I did a lot of flying before I retired, and then when I retired, I really started flying again. So on the 29th of April of 2024, I was involved in an airplane crash. And as I was landing and almost completely stopped, I had a catastrophic landing gear failure, and the right landing gear gave out, which caused the mechanical parts to come under and rupture the fuel tank in the small aerobatic plane that I was flying. I was instantly inside a giant orange orb of flames, but by the grace of God, I was able to get out, and then I got the harnesses off, and then I had to reach in to grab the airplane to pull myself up, and that's where I got the burns on my arms. And the whole time my legs were in the fire, knew I had to get somewhere to call for help.
The minute I looked and it said Medina County Fire Department, I looked at my boss and I was like, this isn't good. So I answered it, and he said, Mrs. Hiatt? And I said, yes. And then I heard my husband in the background hollering, tell her I'm okay, tell her I'm okay.
My legs were like apple cores, and my arms were thin. I'd lost a whole bunch of weight. I was ready just to get in a scooter and just live the rest of my life mobilized in a scooter. But fortunately, my wife and one of my physical therapists, Kyle Cunningham, wasn't having that.
We're with them throughout the entirety of their care. So we're with them in the acute phase. As they heal and get better and more stable, they'll go to our step-down unit, and we follow them there. Once they're to the point where they can safely discharge, we then follow up with them in clinic, and then we see them in outpatient if needed. So with a big enough burn, we could be with these folks for a year, 2 or 3 years.
I think I underestimated how hard it was going to be to recover, what it was going to entail. It was a long time in ICU, it was a long time, it was 68 days in the hospital, 12 surgeries, and the recovery from the burns has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I'm 14 months out, and I'm still going to require more surgeries.
His knee motion wasn't good. His ankle motion wasn't good. It wasn't what he needed to do basic movements to get up from the ground. And the moment where he really dialed in was when he said he went out to dinner, and he said people were watching him get out of a chair, and that just made him angry. It was like he finally was like, okay, that's enough. And then we really made some progress.
Let's get in the gym, let's lift weights, let's do all the things we need to do to rebuild your body. For the longest time, I couldn't close that pinky, and I really thought I was never going to be able to close it. They just worked with me until that's the hard work. That's the part that it takes somebody to motivate you, because it's real easy to quit. Because if you quit, it doesn't hurt as bad. But I'm glad I didn't quit.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, you can do this.
You take someone who doesn't have a great outlook on things, thinks that they're just going to be disabled for the rest of their life. I know what he's capable of. I knew where we could get. Seeing him go through that transition and then having a new lease on life at the end of things is just, it's why we do it. It's what I love, so.
Flying is my happy place. I've always said it's my happy place. It's where all my problems go away. And then when I got hurt, I thought I would never fly again. Yeah, 9 days after I got out of the hospital, I was flying again.
Those nurses were phenomenal. And every time I'd be like, I want to get out of the way and I don't want to, and they would be like, how are you feeling? No. And they'd be like, no, we're here for you too. And I just couldn't get that because he's the patient. He's the one that needs, he's the one with the wounds. And they have a lot going on. They have a roster of patients they take care of. And they always stopped and said, no, we're here for you too.
We spend a lot of time with the patients and their families. So a lot of times the thing I'll ask is, hey, how are you doing? Because this is all new to them. They're learning how to deal with these wounds, this crazy process that we have to go through with burn healing.
With the burns, it's so many people that are involved. It's people that are helping you with your mental health. It's people that are helping you with your surgeries. And then there's people that are helping you with your physical, trying to get back to your new normal. Yeah, I did 26 years in the Army. I did lots of things in the Army where required lots of physical therapy and lots of hospitalization and lots of therapy. But the therapy that I've had since I've been here it's been phenomenal. But the most amazing, compassionate care from day zero to now. I am where I am now with my new normal, and the fact that I can get around and I can fly airplanes again is due in large part to everyone that was involved at the ISR. They gave me my life back.